Okay, let's start and we'll wait for people while they come. So Ian, you start off.
Okay, thanks very much, Andy. Obviously, I'm forced to make a late change to the team. Big blow for Curtis, but good chance for Shane to get back into the ODI squad. Did very well in the T20s last week.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Curtis. He had worked really hard to get back from that ankle injury that he suffered, and obviously continued to show how good a player he is in the 50-over format with his half century in the last game against South Africa. But like you said, Shane's done really well, particularly in the last week up in Breedy and Clontarf, and he's also done quite well when he kind of played ODI cricket. Probably the last time he played ODI cricket when we played Zimbabwe here as well. So yeah, he's an improving cricketer. He's someone that we like the look of, and he's had a few opportunities throughout the years, but he's a guy who's always looking to improve. And yeah, it was a no-brainer really once Curtis got injured that Shane would come in.
No other last-minute problems? Everyone else available for selection tomorrow?
No, yeah, everyone came through yesterday's game and training, and then today's training, which is obviously naturally a bit lighter than usual. So yeah, everyone's fit and available for tomorrow. And
Lorcan will keep wicket?
Yeah, Lorcan's going to keep tomorrow. I've spoken to the two guys. I thought Neil was really good last week, particularly with the gloves, and show glimpses with the bat. And it's obviously a position we need to keep competitive. We need the two lads to keep pushing each other. But we're going to go with Lorcan tomorrow.
Is it easy, which is the same for both teams, but is it easy to change from T20 to 50 over in the space of 4 days?
Yeah, it's something that we haven't probably done too much. It's usually the other way around. It's 50 over then into T20. So I suppose time will tell. That's something we've kind of tried to say to the guys, is to just remember to, I suppose, keep your technique intact. It can be very easy to go out and just kind of still think you're playing T20 cricket. But, I think the guys are good enough cricketers to adapt pretty quickly. So I'm not expecting, massive 350, 400 scores tomorrow on the back of the T20s.
Mind you, it's, after you want to forget about the last batting performance, Brazil, or can you? Or
no, well, I think that just we played 3 very good games of cricket, which need be easily forgotten. We had a bad last game, but we had 3 really good games. So it's kind of the way to look at the negative rather than the 3 games that we played really well in. So the guys have taken a lot of confidence from those wins, and hopefully we can bring them into the 50 overs.
And what about William Porterfield? How much cricket has he actually had in the last couple of months? Obviously, he got injured in the first match of the South Africa series and hasn't been.
Yeah, he obviously had he's played some cricket with his club team. I'm not sure exactly what his team are called in the UK. Yeah. Formby, I think. Yeah, that's spot on. He's played a couple of games over there, and then he obviously played yesterday. But a lot of us haven't played a lot of cricket. There's not a lot of cricket to play unless you're going to play club cricket, and I'm so get out of that. I suppose it's game time, but yeah, we're really William was obviously immense in that first game with his 60 back in the team, so hopefully he can continue his ODI.
The fact that he did it in the one-off match, having not played for a while, I suppose, gives some encouragement for tomorrow. Yeah. And just finally for me, the Wolves, did you see any of the game yesterday? What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I watched it. I had it on in the background in the bedroom, and yeah, it obviously looked a pretty average wicket, and it's hard to take something from that sort of a game. But there were performances that were put in, which is the most important thing. Got a good look at a few of the Zimbabwe players that we haven't had a look at. But yeah, it wasn't. I didn't watch too much about the important stuff, I believe.
Okay, thanks very much.
Okay, John Kenny.
How you doing there, Andrew? How's it going? Get Kate for Camphor. Will Get Kate start?
No, he's not going to play tomorrow. We're pretty settled on about a 12, and I spoke to Shane earlier. He's understandable about it. We have good guys in form with the bat, so if we were to maybe lose one in the morning, Shane would be perfectly capable to come in. But no, we're fairly set on about a 12 for tomorrow.
Or you will open with again, Lee?
Yeah, William will go back to the order. I did it twice, and that's probably 2 more than I wanted to do it. So I'll go back to 3, and William will open up top. So yeah, the familiar pair of William and Paul up top.
Happy enough with that. What about Zimbabwe then? I know it's obviously you've done really well to beat them in the T20 series, but obviously the ODIs is a different kettle of fish. What do you think they're going to bring to the party?
They've got a lot of experience in their lineup. A lot of guys who've played a lot of cricket, particularly middle order, top order. Names like Taylor, Irvine, Williams, Raza, who've been there, done that. So we're well aware of what they can bring and what they bring to the table. So we know we've got to be on point. Craig Irvine had a pretty good T20 series, looked a class above. So they're important wickets to take in that team, and we're really happy with our bowlers at the moment. I mentioned it during the T20 series that we've got 4 quick bowlers who could play at any given time. So we have a decision to make there, and hopefully we can put in 3 really good performances, but particularly start well tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a big series, isn't it? I mean, you've done so well against South Africa and nicked that 10 points off England as well. I mean, if you manage to turn them over and pick up the 30 points, it'd be huge, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, 30 points against anyone would be huge. We're not trying to look too far ahead. I know it's a cliche, but I think in Holland we might have been in danger of that, looking to see how many points we could get here and there. But I think you've just got to worry about putting in a performance on the day, because cricket's such a funny game that it can turn so quickly for your favour and against you. So the main message has just been get out tomorrow and put in a very good performance first up, and that's what we'll be trying to do.
Yeah. Weather looks good as well. Nice big ground as well. Stormont might suit.
Yeah, no, we've been so lucky. We actually said if we were to get through 8 games in September in Ireland with no rain, we'll be absolutely blessed. Now there still is 3 games to play in it, and it could still play a part. But it looks like the sun looks like it's trying really hard to break through up here. It hasn't just yet. There was a bit of fog and mist this morning, which may come into the next couple of days, and the outfield was a bit wet just from that kind of fog. So we'll have to see. Early morning starts are always a bit different in Ireland, but hopefully we can catch Zimbabwe in the hop and use the home conditions to our advantage.
Yeah, that's one for me. Do you enjoy playing in Stormont?
Yeah, I enjoy all the grounds. All the grounds are quite different, and I enjoy playing at all of them. You always get a kind of different atmosphere at each ground. This ground is probably the biggest ground that we play on, so that has its positives and negatives. But yeah, I really like all our grounds. They have their own sort of niches to them, and it's our last sort of home games of the summer, and hopefully we can get a pretty good crowd in, and they can enjoy the cricket we try to play.
Go well tomorrow. Thanks very much.
Thanks, John.
Paul Slattery.
Hey, Andy, thanks for taking the time. You mentioned that you're kind of happy not to be opening the batting, considering how for the last year or 2 years, you're kind of used to coming into the crease second or third over. You opened the bat against South Africa, did well. Were you not tempted to put yourself and Paul Stirling out there first up?
No, not at all. I think having seen how William went about his business in that first ODI, to lose him for the second ODI, even as well as it went for me, was someone of his experience and his class. We were desperate to get him back in, and it's great having him fitting around the group again. And look, if something happens again or something comes up down the line, I'm happy to do it. But number 3 is where I've kind of made my mark in this team and how I got into the team. So no, I'm pretty happy with where I am at 3, and I'll continue to do so unless something like that happens again.
And you kind of mentioned how the final T20 against Zimbabwe was just a blip. So I suppose you're kind of happy generally where the team are this week. Obviously it's a change of format, but you're kind of happy with the form everyone's bringing into this week.
Yeah, pretty happy. I think we're all in a pretty good place. I think that South Africa series did us a world of good. Even that half game we played on the first day, the second game obviously was brilliant, and the third game, the fight that we showed, and for Simi Singh to come in and get 100 at 8, those small little things just kind of puff the chest out a bit more for this team, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a team that has confidence in what they want to do, whether it's with the bat or the ball, and they 100% want to commit to what they want to do. So this series is a big series. They're all big series. I say it every time we talk before a series. They're all big series, and they carry a lot of weight, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. It's a long process, and we're doing some pretty good things. We just need to do them more regularly and more consistently.
And the last one for me now, obviously it's in the back of your mind now, but with the T20 World Cup next month, maybe juggle everything and be only focused on Zimbabwe, when like it must be in the back of your mind who's bowling well, who's batting well, but obviously the squad you picked for that coming up very soon as well. Yeah,
well, I think the selectors met last night and have pretty much come up with a squad, so we'll probably find out more about that towards the end of the week. So that's all kind of not in my hands. I can have my say, of course, but the way it is at the moment with all the cricket there is in the world and all the different formats we play, bar test cricket, of course, you're always kind of delving in and out of one day and T20 cricket. So we're professionals at the end of the day, and we've got to be able to adapt to that. And to be a good international cricketer, you need to adapt to all situations and conditions, and changing into formats is part of the job. And the way it is T20 World Cup is, I think we're leaving in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. So that is obviously exciting to look ahead to, but it'll be a lot more pleasurable to sit in a plane and go to the World Cup having won a series against Zimbabwe and finish off the kind of World Super League year on a high.
Thanks. Have a good week and chat again soon.
Oh, bye.
Matt, go.
Yeah, just a quick one for me, Andrew. Just a lot has been said about him recently, obviously given his white ball batting, but having played with him for such a long time, what is it for you makes Paul Stirling such an explosive player?
Oh, I think having someone in your team that can, on his day, take down any attack in the world is something unique, and maybe as Irish cricketers and Irish supporters, we've not always been blessed with that in the years. But he's kind of slowly, and I think the most impressive thing about him is since he's become a real senior player in the team, he's probably scored the bulk of his runs, and he's been more consistent. I think he'd be the first to say in his early career, he got some amazing scores, but maybe not as consistent as he'd like. But now we're starting to see that, and I think he only turned 31 last week or a couple of days ago, and we're starting to see that maturity in his game. And he's a perfectionist at the end of the day, and he wants to hit every ball out of the middle, which naturally doesn't happen. It happens more times for him than it would for me. But someone who can genuinely take down any bowler in the world, to have that in your team just kind of keeps the fielders on their heels almost as much as other batters will keep them on their toes, dropping in singles and that sort of stuff. So he's clearly a powerhouse in this team, and I heap praise in him every time I talk about him. So I'll leave it at that.
That's great. Thanks.
Thanks.
Any last questions? Okay, thank you very much.
All right, sorry, one more.
One more, Jenny.
Sorry, Andrew. That T20 festival still going ahead, isn't it? Towards the end of September, before the World Cup. Is that still going ahead, I presume?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I obviously don't make the call on where it is or the official release, but us as players have been talking about it kind of in the hotel and stuff. So as far as us as players are aware, it's going to go ahead. I think Friday week starts. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in the Northwest, isn't it? The Northwest Union. Yeah.
No, I think it's due to be in the North as from what we've spoken about, because naturally we've done the Northwest, we've done Dublin, and the next stage would be Belfast.
I can cut in there and say it's at Comber, North Down.
Comber.
It's 17th, 18th, 19th of September.
Okay. Comber. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. I just needed to check that anyway. So, but that'll be important build up.
Yeah,
to the
well,
World
and
Cup
look, the squad will be selected before then. So guys will want to get form going onto the plane. We'll have a fairly big build up period in the UAE when we're there, with a few games involved. So you want maybe that festival to have been a bit earlier, and guys to maybe push a claim, and guys from outside the group to maybe stake a claim. But because of the tight schedule of the rescheduling of this series, it just hasn't happened. So yeah, it's more of a chance for us to put on a good festival, and for me, for Leinster Lightning to hopefully win. But I think for players to really hone in on their skills before we go away.
All right. Thanks very much, Craig. If you send us the recording of this, I'd be grateful.
Yep, that'll be done in a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you all.
See you tomorrow. Good luck.
Thank you all. See you later.
Thanks.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks.